As summer weather dries up the Pacific Northwest, wildfires become a concern for many. It's fair to say that in the last decade, Oregon has seen an increase in notable wildfires that have decimated the ancestral homelands of Oregon tribes. To combat those fires, the Grand Ronde tribe employs wildland firefighters. To prepare for the fire season and ensure the crews are properly trained, the Natural Resources Department's Civil Culture and Fire Protection Program holds a week-long boot camp in June to prepare this year's firefighters. For 18-year-old tribal member and recent high school graduate Braxton Stonebrink, this is his first year on the Wildland Fire crew.
It was something I thought would be really good right out of high school, first summer, and it'd give me some money to fall back on. And forestry work is just something I'm really interested in too. So.
About a half minute ahead, that's lap 3.
Yesterday we learned how to cut line and learned all about communication and stuff. And the physical part of it is really hard, but I think I will get more used to it. And learning about communication is really a big part of it.
For returning crew, the boot camp looks a little different. While this may be a refresher course, many of the returning crew have now found themselves in leadership positions with the new members looking up to them for guidance. This will be Justin Fasana's 5th year returning to the Grand Ronde Wildland Fire crew.
It's fun. It's good work. There's a lot of good people out here. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I know this is something that I can use to further myself and dive more into the career. I was a natural resources undergraduate at Oregon State, got my bachelor's there, and then I actually worked up here as the forester for a year, and then last year ended up deciding to go back to school, also for natural resources, but urban forestry this time. And yeah, so it's all within the same field, and I'm just trying to keep learning, and I'm starting to dive more into like a leadership role now, so it's cool starting to figure out how to kind of teach people all the things that I learned and expanding on that.
To Fire Management and Protection Program Manager Andrew Perini, this boot camp is a chance to provide hands-on training before they send crews to respond to fires.
We do online training, but the most valuable training is hands-on training, especially with the line of work that they're in. So boot camp is just a way to expose our firefighters to everyday expectations, our tools, verbiage. It's our additional training to make sure that when our firefighters reach the line that they're prepared. It's not something that other companies offer. There's typically they follow the NWCG outline for training, but we go above and beyond specifically for safety, but also to make sure that our firefighters aren't thrown to the wolves.
As part of the boot camp, the crew must test their endurance with the PAC test.
The PAC test is a work capacity test and evaluate physical competency and to make sure that our firefighters are going to be able to do the job when we're at 5,000 feet elevation in 100-degree weather.
To complete the PAC test, the firefighters must keep an even walking pace for 3 miles, wearing a 45-pound weighted vest in under 45 minutes. You may think this sounds easy, but the added weight starts to show on mile 2 on even the fittest of the firefighter crew.
Not far enough.
To challenge themselves, editor Danielle Harrison and photographer and assistant editor Michelle Alaimo completed the test themselves.
I thought the PAC test went fairly well for me. I did quite a bit of training in advance because being a little on the older side and having to carry 45 pounds while walking/wogging was definitely not something I had tried before. Today, I was a little worried about the weather beforehand, but it actually turned out to be really nice weather as far as for running. It's now raining. It was not raining then. So overall, I thought it went well. The camaraderie was really good. People were super nice. And I was also very proud of assistant editor Michelle Alaimo for joining me in the challenge.
The PAC test went surprisingly well for me. My whole goal was to just start out ahead and keep that pace. So I was ahead of the time, so I didn't have to rush at the end. It's probably the most challenging physical activity I've ever done, but it was well worth it. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I completed it.
Both Smoke Signal staff wanted to complete the PAC test to prove that most anybody could be a wildland firefighter if they wanted to.
I definitely would say I am 49 years old, and I have 49-year-old body aches and tiredness and everything else. And I try to stay in good shape, but If I, as a 49-year-old woman, can do this, I really think that anybody, if they put their mind to it and their body to it and they put the effort and the time into doing it, I think anybody can do this. And I would really encourage more women to do it, because I think that some perhaps might feel intimidated when they go and they see a room full of guys. But the guys are actually very nice from the limited amount I experienced and very supportive to you. So I say just go for it.
And this year, Alaimo did. She completed all the requirements for the Incident Qualification Card, also known as the Red Card, and is now a certified wildland firefighter.
If anybody should challenge themselves to do this, I am 50 years old. So I had to keep up with Danielle and challenge myself. If she could do it, I could do it. So far I've completed the online courses and the pack test, and then whatever they have in store for me today. I know I have to do a fire shelter deployment, and I'm not sure what else I have to do, but yes, I am going to complete the whole Red Card process.
You got like 30 seconds. Nice job, Caleb. Vest off, do a cool down lap with these folks. And then you're gonna be at the fire truck. Get wet. There's no two ways about it. We got it.
Whoever will come up on
cool down lap.